Hi, I'm Nick Willits from TM Forum, and I'm here at AWS UK HQ with Adolfo Hernandez. Adolfo, hello.
Hello, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Adolfo, it's great to see you, and this is a very important day for us because AWS is now a fully fledged member at the TM Forum. Now, of course, we've been working together for some time with really impressive outcomes, but as we look forward to this next chapter, tell us a bit about what this means to AWS and what are the key topics and themes for you that you're looking to achieve through partnering together?
We're both excited and honored to be part of the TM Forum now. It's not something that we're coming from the outside. We've already been working together since 2019. We've been engaging with members. We've been at the events. We've been sponsors. We've been participating at Catalyst programs. We've even got awards. So this just felt it was the next natural step for the evolution so that we can strengthen the collaboration. So super happy to do it.
Fantastic. We're looking forward to an exciting year ahead and really making some remarkable outcomes for the industry together.
Same.
It comes at a really important time for our industry, doesn't it? Because telecoms has been looking for over a decade for new opportunities for growth, for ways in which it can transform itself. And if the past decade has been about, in many ways, sort of cleaning house within telco, getting to grips with cloud native technologies, the capabilities that a company like AWS can bring will be even more fundamental for the next decade. So what role, what focus do you expect AWS to have when you think about engaging in the forum?
I think you really nailed it. This is about enabling telcos now to move to the next step. And from our perspective, of course, we bring the telecom skills. Of course, we work on everything that has to do with telco. But we also bring a ton of experience on digital transformation, on cloudification of workloads. And we work with telcos all over the world, and we work with big innovative companies all over the world. And we hope that we're going to bring all of that experience, all of that know-how, and bring it into the forum. But also I'm hoping that we will take stuff that we are doing in the forum and bring it into AWS. So specifically, I see three areas where I think we're going to continue working. First one, the area of monetization. I think that's a very important topic for all of our members, right? How do we monetize the investment? How do we launch new innovative services? Within that, probably there is a second one that is everything that has to do with Edge, right? Edge is a new opportunity that we're all learning about, whether it's private Edge or public Edge. How do we build those Edge platforms? How do we engage the ISVs so that we build solutions, new use cases that we can monetize? And there I think we can bring a lot to the table. And then the third area would be everything that we've been doing already with you around marketplaces, right? Whether it's the digital marketplaces or the zero-touch marketplaces. How do we enable a marketplace solution with the forum and the forum members so other non-telco businesses can participate and deliver those services through the cloud and through those marketplaces? So there's plenty to get going.
And those are really important topics. One's very close to my heart, particularly starting with monetization, as you described there, Edge being one great example of that. It's the marketplace part I find most fascinating. I see it where really the worlds of hyperscale cloud providers like AWS and telcos need to think very differently because it's a changing go-to-market path for them. So in addition to the experience and skills, how do you see that partnership evolving? You talk about it like a partnership. We're very much in a partnership, but your partnership with telco, how do you see that shaping up?
So first for the marketplace. I think the marketplace is something that it's common and is a proven success in the IT space, right? So our challenge as an industry is now make it a success in the telecom space. We don't have to reinvent anything. It's already been done. We've been running the AWS marketplace now for a long time. We've got tens of thousands of people on it, and Apple is doing it and a number of other people. So we should be doing the same, and we should be raising the bar and do the same in telco. And whether it's telco marketplaces for enterprises or telco marketplaces to consumers or telco marketplaces for telcos, so that they can share. That's a fascinating opportunity. And it's a brand new go-to-market for telco. But again, it's nothing new. It's already happening somewhere else. So very excited about that one in particular. On your second part, the partnership, I believe the partnership is around two things. It's around alignment and it's around value creation. I like to believe that the working backwards culture of Amazon and the mechanisms that we've got and the fact that 90% of our innovation comes from working from customers helps a lot to the alignment. Because we would sit with the forum, we would sit with customers and we would listen to them as to what they're trying to do. And we will align very quickly as to where that innovation is. Now, by definition, the innovation has to provide value, right? And in the telecom business that I ran, we're superly focused on helping them create value around cloudifying their network, simplifying their operations, improving customer service, and monetization again. So I think that we are naturals for this collaboration.
So Adolfo, you mentioned there innovation. That's something that I believe as an industry, we've got to think about co-innovation, co-creation. And of course, AWS has been part of TM4M's Catalyst program for a few years now. Tell us a bit about why you see that program as important. When you think about innovation, how do you think the ingredients need to come together in our industry to really make that profitable?
Yeah, I think the Catalyst are great vehicles for focused collaboration, right? And I think the name is very descriptive, right? You get the right people who have a particular interest from a variety of telcos and other participants like ourselves to work on a particular topic, whether it's the digital business marketplace or the zero-touch marketplace like the ones we collaborated on. And then you really bring in the right people that have the right skills, right? And that are committed to make this happen. And then you innovate together, right? And then start building proof of concepts and start listening to the customers and check with enterprises and bring in SIs. So that sort of focused innovation mechanism is super powerful. It's not about PowerPoints and meeting once a year. It is literally making that happen. And obviously we've been working a lot on marketplaces. We're passionate about it on the two catalysts. But I think what we're doing in terms of ODA, what we're doing in business process framework, it's a number of these areas. I think is going to be super fascinating to continue working on. And then the other thing that is good out of Catalyst is we might end up having a discussion and saying, okay, no, this is out of scope. But then we're actually discovering something that maybe warrants to be part of another Catalyst in the future. So I think it's a really powerful cross-industry stewarded, but cross-industry open mechanism for innovation.
Now let's talk about the agenda for 2023. It's a brand new year. It's always a good time to take stock and think about what needs to happen this year. For us as an industry, I think this is all the hallmarks of needing to be a pivotal moment in change. And as we described earlier, how do we make that shift from talking about cleaning house and getting fit to really being ready to grow? What's front of mind for you as you look into this year? And when you're talking to telcos around the world, what do you see as the key priorities you're advising them to really focus on?
I'm going to start with the obvious one, right, which is 5G, right? I think we've been at this, as an industry for a while. So a lot of work done in North America already now, with millimeter deployments. I think we're going to get more focus, we're going to get more coverage, better quality of service. In Europe now, 2/3 of operators launched, just over a dozen in Asia. But I think there's still work to do. So I think the rolling out still needs to continue. It's a little bit obvious, but we need to sort of finish the job, and that will sort of help with retirement of older generations. I think devices are starting to appear in multiple dimensions, 5G devices. So I think we are just about getting to a point where we will have a complete 5G ecosystem, and we will need the complete 5G ecosystem to deliver on the promise. So we can't forget about that. So that would be sort of the first one, and we'll have new applications, new use cases enabled by 5G. Obvious, right? The second one for me would be data, right? I think we've sort of been too focused on connectivity as an industry for very long, and then we've been doing a lot of the transactional side of the industry very well. But I think is the OLAP side of the industry that's been missing. Do you remember when we were together in Copenhagen? I think Shankar from Verizon was talking about that. You remember we had a session jointly with Rainer Deutschmann from Telia. I think it's really moving to the point where data has to be at the very center of what we do, from a go-to-market perspective, from a customer services perspective, and from an improving operations perspective. So I expect data is going to move from being data aware to a lot more data centricity and led by data. And I think if we sort of talk again in 12 months, we will probably look back and say, wow, that agenda has changed. And I sense that when I talk to customers. And the third one, it will be around sustainability. Because we owe it to the planet and we owe it to our future generations. This is one of the most polluting industries. I think Edna said it's like 2.6%. it's not cool, right? Because we tend to blame the airlines, and we do worse than that. But also because of the cost associated with energy consumption. That's sort of bringing it to the P&L, putting a lot of pressure out there. So whether it's about looking at smart ways to shut down RANs and sort of power that, whether it's looking at how to move energy consuming data centers onto the cloud to consume less, whether it's to deploying less pollutant energies at the microprocessor level and at the system level, there is a ton to be done there. And that is now, there is no CEO discussion that we have where sustainability and energy is not at the forefront of the discussions. And I think that's new. I think that's something that's emerged for obvious reasons in the last 12 months, but it's definitely going to be there for the next few years. And one that I think we ought to take very seriously as an industry.
Yeah, in fact, I think we can be the leaders on, as we've seen through programs like Catalysts, we've got a great vehicle there to learn from each other. And if there's one thing we can all agree on, it's the need to focus on that sustainability challenge. It's now a business imperative, as you say.
It is, and all of us have to do better. I think we are running now most of our operations on sustainable energy. We introduced a couple of months ago a new objective around water. Mm-hmm. So I think we have to keep raising the bar as individual members of the TM Forum and collectively start producing indexes, giving us ourselves some challenges, some benchmarks, some ideas on who is doing better and learn from each other, really, because it's not a competition. It's about making a contribution.
Fantastic. Well, we really appreciate the partnership. It's great to hear you already talking as part of that partnership, part of the forum. Delighted to have you. Adolfo Hernandez, thanks so much.
Thanks for the opportunity. Looking forward to it.